Hello, everybody. KG here, founder of Internet Money Wallet on Android, iOS, and Chrome. Today, we have reached a major milestone where we've hit $100 million in-app swap volume. Backstage, I have co-founder of Internet Money, Don Montoya, and we're going to be going live shortly to dive into stats and other exciting things happening in the Internet Money ecosystem.
No, you gotta be safe when you get this money. This internet money. This internet money.
Internet money jumping, got me jumping in. Bull market coming, we about to pump again. A lot of people left the game, had a change of plans. Long money got the short money changing hands. Take your time, maybe you can make some dividends. Buying whole, only method I can recommend. Buy the lows for you know it, you be making ends. Where to stop, nobody knows, though it all depends. They say the trend is your friend up until the end. All these exes got me about to do a double spin. Keep the chains, ain't no need for the double sin. Blockchain got the block boys bubbling. No bank, no thank you, I'm my own man. You know I like to keep my wallet in my own pants. Life's a gamble, got the right to take my own chance. A little different, yeah, I like to do my own dance. Gotta keep my own keys and my own coins. Top flight security, I keep it on point. Gotta keep the seed and phrase under lock and key. Gotta keep...
Hello, everybody. What's up, Don? How you doing today?
What's up, everybody? Big day.
Big day. Why is it a big day, Don?
Well, as a community, we just surpassed 100 million in swap volume. That means so much. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. KG, take the wheel.
All right. So, as I said in the intro, as Don just said, we had $100 million in swap volume. And we're going to show some stats here on screen so we can actually take a look at a couple things. But that is volume that if somebody has executed a swap within their Internet Money wallet on Android, iOS, or Chrome, that's where that number comes from. So that is people trusting $100 million of their trading activity in the Internet Money app. And first of all, big thank you to the community for your trust and support in us. And we hope that we can truly continue to find ways to provide value to you and reaffirm that trust and support. We don't take it for granted.
Well said, KG.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and pull up our stats over here. And by the way, if you ever want to track stats or follow stats, internetmoney.io/stats. You can see it live for yourself. Let's do a quick shout out. Hello, Pesky. Good to see you. Internet Money is one of the top projects on PulseChain. I would agree with the addition and correction that it is the top project on PulseChain, and we appreciate your support. Goran, good to see you, brother. Welcome in. Goran says, "Hey, Don, that's a cool shirt."
Thanks, man.
All right, let's get this pulled up here. Share the screen. Thumbs up in the chat if you can see the screen here. And shout out if you're watching on X. Hit that retweet button. Hit that like button. Drop a comment. Bookmark the stream. Helps the algorithm. We're trying to grow out here. If you're on YouTube, hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Do all the things. You know what to do. Drop a comment. Let's get people in here. Appreciate everyone who's already here. All right. So also today, our download stats got updated. And you can see here that this is the interval from August 31st to September 15th. That's what, whenever you see this date here, that's what these green numbers reflect. We crossed over 94,000 downloads and are on the cusp of 95,000. And for those who have been following, know that our goal for 2025 has always been 100,000 downloads by the end of 2025. And right now, we're averaging 191 downloads a day. So let's say about 3.5 months. Let's say there's, what is that? Let's just call it 100 days. Yep.
Sounds good.
All right, times 191. That's another 19,000 downloads. We're gonna blow through our 100,000 downloads should this average continue. So that's very bullish. And in this last 16 days, we got a new 3,000 downloads again at an average of 191 downloads a day every day. What are your thoughts there, Don?
Yeah, I think the rate of adoption is just insane. I mean, even though it's what we projected at the beginning of the year, it still makes me so excited that everyone out there who is supportive of our ecosystem is actually, your work is actually bearing fruit. This isn't just me and KG out here getting these downloads. It's every one of you that are talking to your friends, your family at the barbecues, at the parties, birthday party, whatever you guys are doing. Every time you post about it, and there's a lot of people out there that support us and support yourselves in this process. If you're a time holder, you get a portion of that revenue, which KG will go into. But this isn't just the work of KG and myself. This is just as much the work of you, the community. So congratulations to you as well. This is a big milestone.
Well said. We do our part, but every single person in the community does their part. If you've ever you downloading it, whoever you are, you're one of those numbers. Every single person that you've ever onboarded, you've helped increase this. And this network effect, we're really starting to see compound as well, which is some cool stats that we should probably add to the stats side and will. But let's jump into that. So I'm not going to go through all the stats in depth today because we actually have a video where I break down what each one of these mean in depth. But just to give everybody a high level overview, we support in-app swapping on 7 different networks right now: Pulse Chain, Ethereum, BNB Smart Chain, formerly BSC, Polygon, Base, Arbitrum, Avalanche. On each one of these chains, we have a token called Time. 100% of the revenue generated from in-app swapping is paid out to time holders on each given network. So if you hold time on Pulse Chain, you're earning PLS. If you hold time on Base, you're earning ETH, and so on. So the reason we're celebrating today is if you click this box here and change to total, we surpassed $100 million in that swap volume. So 100% of this revenue that was paid out to time holders, totaling about $785,000 that has been distributed to the holders of time. That's without you having to sell your time. That's without you having to stake your time. You simply hold your time and you're claiming that revenue as frequently or infrequently as you choose. That'll be another stream, Don. When we hit $1 million here, we're streaming. We're close.
Yeah, absolutely. And not to mention the fact that $785,000 was paid out at different price intervals. That's really just the TWAP. So, some of that PLS was paid out when PLS was at 1.9.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's a truly great product.
So to your point,
love the cursor, by the way.
Oh, you like that? Yeah.
So we got
so we got internet money, and if you click on something, you got time. See, it transfers to time, and then if you highlight something, it changes to future. See that?
Only you, KG.
You know what? I might put a package on in our GitLab. If you're interested in open source cursors, visit our GitLab. All right. So Don,
Very
to your
cool.
point there, the point I wanted to make was, so let me get the price of PLS right now real quick. And the way I'm doing that is I'm actually opening my Internet Money wallet on a different window and just looking at the top of the screen because the price of PLS is right there. Oh, and Don, wouldn't you know, the price of PLS is 4204. Had to be.
Not surprised.
So
42 is a big number.
42 is a big number. So the reason, to your point, you said that PLS has been paid out at all prices. And this is true on each chain, right? Because right now, PLS is being paid out. Ethereum is being paid out. And depending on the price of it, changes the amount of units that you get. Because if $1 in revenue goes out, well, if PLS is at, like you said, 4019, there's more units of PLS. Whereas if PLS is at its current price, 4042, it's less units of PLS. So the cool thing about that is if you don't sell the dividends or the rewards, in our system, we call them dividends, that you're earning, you actually have another layer of price appreciation there. So this is how much PLS has been paid out over the course of time. And if we multiply that by the current price, it's actually a little less today. So depending on the average of when that swap volume comes in, oh, you can't see it. I'm on the calculator. Well, never mind. Failed experiment there. I'm only sharing this window. But point is if you take the amount of PLS that was actually earned and multiply it by the current price, you can see what the overall dividends would have been in today's value.
Yeah, that's another stat that we should get up there at some point when we get the opportunity to enhance our stats page.
100%. So, yeah, and you can also break this down by time intervals. So in the last 24 hours, swap volume is down, dividends are down. You look at it the 7-day though, swap volume is up, dividends is up on the 7-day. $2 million in this last week.
Yeah, a really good metric, two really good metrics that I really like to view is the 90-day, because it gives you a broad spectrum, and the 365-day. So those two spectrums really help give you a sense of what's going on. And more important, yes, the swap volume dollar-wise obviously is very important. But the most important number that I look at are the addresses. True, you could have one DGen guy or girl with 4,900 different addresses, but we want to see that number continue to go up. Again, we don't collect any user data. So we just have to derive everything from the blockchain. And we can assume that at least one human has one address, but however many addresses each human has, it's undeterminable. So, but that number for me is a really big one that I watch very closely.
No, that's a really good point. So if someone's out there and they want to speculate on the stats, then you decide if you think one address is one person, or if every person on average has 10 addresses. That's up to you to decide. But overall, you can see that in the last 90 days versus the previous 90-day window, we've had an increase of 31% in the amount of addresses that have been interacting with the swap within Internet Money. And really quick here, I see Infinite Mind, great name, by the way, says, "Hi, I'm new here. What is this website for?" So let me ask, are you new to Internet Money in general, or just new to the site that we're looking at? Happy to answer that question. DJ and Dougie, bong bong. I hope it seems like it means bullish, so let's be bullish. Oh, Jim Horton says, "Hey, KG, I left MetaMask. Absolute gigabrain this, Jim. For good about a month ago. Love Internet Money Wallet. Thanks again." Hey, glad to have you on board, Jim. Really appreciate you being a part of the community. So, yeah, when you're looking at stats here, when you look at, so let's say 24-hour, this minus 78% is just comparing this 24 hours to the following 24 hours, and it's the same for each interval. What's up, Tin Top? And second place, actually, in terms of all this, is Ethereum. So Pulse Chain is our number one most popular chain in terms of volume and dividends paid. And that's at 90 million in volume and 705,000 in dividends paid. On Ethereum, we're in second place at 10 million in volume and $75,000 in dividends paid. In let me see. I believe BNB. Yep, BNB's third place with $358,000 in swap volume, $2,800 in dividends paid. And then I believe we have Base. Yep. And then so you can see it starts to trail off from there. And we're attempting to grow in these communities. We're constantly networking and engaging and trying to onboard new people from these communities. So if you're out there, you know, we have a big Pulse Chain presence. Shout out Pulse Chain. But we do want to grow in other ecosystems. And if there's any out there ecosystems that you want us to bring the swap feature to, let us know. We're always open to deploy.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point there, KG. I mean, yes, Pulse Chain first and foremost for what we do, but the only way we can grow is to get new people into the system. And like you see here, Infinite Mind, probably new to the system. You go into our Telegram chat, you see all these, hey, I'm new to Pulse Chain, or hey, I'm new to crypto in general. And that is the whole goal, to increase the volume on Pulse Chain. We have to reach out to communities that are not Pulse Chain, bring them in, and bringing them into the wallet, a wallet that works awesome with Pulse Chain and the little nuances. That is the best thing that anybody can do for onboarding, is bring them in through the Internet Money Wallet, because they're going to have a seamless experience once they're on it, instead of these little quirks for some of our other competitors that they have because they're not optimized for Pulse Chain.
Well said. We're seeing that in recent history with MetaMask. It happened within this last week or so, where tons of users started reporting that MetaMask wasn't processing their transactions on Pulse Chain. Each blockchain has its own quirks, and wallet providers have to accommodate for those quirks. But we see time and time again, these wallet providers, they don't seem to care about Pulse Chain or prioritize it. Whereas at the core of everything we do, Pulse Chain is a priority. And so I can say with confidence that we're the only wallet in existence on Android, iOS, and Chrome that is open source, collects no data, and cares about Pulse Chain above any other blockchain.
That is correct. And the way we build, you got to keep in mind, this isn't an ERC20 set it and forget it product. Constantly have to update, constantly have to be subject to third-party updates like Wallet Connect or Google Play Store, to have to actually keep up with that. It is a living, breathing thing, and you can't just pump out code and expect everything to be okay. We build slowly, but we also build securely. Again, all of our devs are background checked, US based. We know where everybody's at. So having to push code on a constant basis, you got to take it slow. And I know that we may not have every feature that everybody wants right here, right now, but everything is coming. It's in the pipeline, and security is one of the most important things to us and in the way we build. And good to see you, Sandy Beach.
Sandy Beach, thanks for joining. Internet Money Wallet, thank you for your support. And Don, security in the way that you just expressed it can't be stressed enough, because anybody can go pick up any anonymous developer in crypto and basically build anything for all intents and purposes, right? There are some special GigaBrain engineers that can only do certain things, like the GigaBrain we have reworking our swap right now. That's a special individual. And even the GigaBrain's working on the wallet. I mean, we have a special team, and so we have found very special people. But my point with that is, just because you see a product out there doesn't mean that, just because it works, it doesn't mean that it's necessarily good, safe, and secure. And a big part of that security model is, who are the people working on it? You and me are doxed. Our team is doxed to us. And if something funny ever happens within the wallet, we know where our team lives. We know exactly how to get a hold of them, and they will be held to the full extent of the American law. And they know that coming in to work with us. So that is a level of security that when you're talking to people about projects, that should be a big question that people care about, is who is this team? Who is behind this project? How do I hold somebody accountable if something happens? And you can do that fully with internet money.
Yep.
Check out some other stats here. So, and again, these are a deeper dive I'm not going to go into right now, but you can, and we have a video on our channel of where I really deep dive and break all this apart, but it gets a little heady, so I'm going to not do that for now. But a couple cool stats that I want to point out is you can check the unclaimed. Oh, look, that just went up live. That's cool. You can check the unclaimed dividends. So this is currently the amount of PLS on Pulse Chain. We're on Pulse Chain, sitting in the time contract waiting to be claimed. Now, one really cool feature that doesn't get talked about too often is because some of this time is locked up in liquidity pools or different contracts, that PLS will never be able to be claimed, which means that we're effectively burning PLS in a way, and ETH and all these other native coins.
That's a really good point. Not many people talk about that. I really don't hear anybody but us actually talking about that. And a lot of that $291,000 is never going to see the light of day. It's just going to be locked up in a liquidity pool DEX contract that no one has admin keys to access. So the more you swap in the wallet, the more PLS disappears. Same with Hex and PulseX and Ink with our buy and burn.
That's very true. Every swap within internet money buys and burns Hex, PulseX, and Ink. Why is no one beating down the doors talking about that? That's a mind-blowing concept.
One day they'll get it, KG.
Yep.
And those who know, they know.
Those who know. That's why I say the internet money community is made up of legends only.
Yeah. Big brains.
Big brains. Another cool table of stats down here is you can search through the volume by token, by address, and by the individual DEX that we support. And what's really cool about this too is, yeah, you get to see what people are swapping within internet money, but it's also sort of an ecosystem check because internet money is a microcosm of the macrocosm that is whatever ecosystem it's a part of. So you can really see overall community sentiment by looking at these stats here. So in the last 24 hours, what you're seeing here is that people are buying Pulse, right? Wrap Pulse and Pulse are basically Pulse. So you have, in this example, 29,000 of buy volume on Pulse and 11,000 of sell volume, but where actual PLS itself, not the wrap version. So it kind of evens out. Vouch, $20,000 has been sold and 4,000 has been bought. So these are the top three in terms of volume. And if you want to know, for instance, this is DAI, but is that DAI or PDAI? You can just grab the contract address. You can also go search for it as well. Okay, so that's PDAI. 12,000 of PDAI has been. Oh, so PDAI is actually being bought. Oh, and I looked at that backwards for a moment. My apologies. Yeah, so 7,000 of buy volume, 5,000 of sell volume, 7,000 of Peacock sold, 700 bought. You get the point. You can go down this list and really see what is happening in the ecosystem. Looks like a lot more selling today than buying in general. Oh, someone bought $3,600 of. Oh, it's on Ethereum. That's cool. Oh, yeah. And right here, you can see what network it's on as well.
One of the cool things about being a time holder is you don't have to care about anybody buying and selling the token.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing you have to care about is this volume and where is that volume at? Like if the ETH being the second highest producing volume in our ecosystem, you can kind of gauge what a good investment in time on Ethereum actually is. Again, not financial advice. Do your own research. you could see up there some of the information that we provide to you. But don't get me wrong, all of that is to try to lead back to Pulse. Like, we don't know, because we don't collect user data. We don't know who came in from where. All we know is that the numbers keep on going up, all of the numbers. So hopefully that translates into some PLS pumpage too.
Yeah, and that's another amazing point, is that so many tokens, most tokens, basically every other token, the shill is buy my token, buy my token. Let me show you something. Show you something, Don.
Show me something, KG.
So like I said, the shill for every other token is buy my token, buy my token. Okay, the best chart on Pulse Chain is obviously a flex we're happy to make any day of the week. And this is the best chart on Pulse Chain. I challenge anyone to offer a better chart. I would love to have that discussion. With time, the shill isn't buy my coin. The shill is, hey, download a wallet that doesn't collect your data, and you have an amazing swap experience, the best place to swap on Pulse Chain at the touch of your fingertips. And you get paid because of that. People don't even have to know time exists, and you get paid. And look, we have the best chart on Pulse Chain without our shill being buy our token. You tell me if there's a correlation there, Don. Asking for a friend.
100%. And the perpetual buyer in our system of the buy and burn is also contributing to that. I mean, it's amazing. Like, imagine if everybody, all the time holders, got together just for 1 month and put in all their time into the buy and burn. This chart would go bananas.
I mean, it'd go cuckoo banana pants. This is already bananas.
Yeah, it is. It's beautiful. I love looking at it. I might get that tattooed on my chest.
Well, and one thing too, people, when I post time charts, a lot of times I'll post this chart, right? Because this is, if you're ever on Deck Screener, you have an option up here to look at a chart in terms of USD or the asset it's paired to. And the USD chart is still beautiful. You can see many life cycles that time has had. And remember, time was launched on Pulse Chain within the first 2 weeks of Pulse Chain's existence. So you might be able to find a chart that has a bigger green hockey stick right now, but you can't find a chart that has this beautiful of performance the entire time Pulse Chain has been in existence. We are the only asset in this category. So I humbly position we're the best asset on Pulse Chain. But that's not the point I was trying to make. The point I was trying to make is one of the issues with looking at charts in terms of their USD perspective is that they're subject to the thing they're paired to. So, for example, in this instance, if Pulse dumps, time dumps. If Pulse pumps, time pumps. And that's true for every token. Whatever they're paired to affects the USD price chart. So do buys and sells, but nobody could buy or sell it, and it could pump and dump just alongside the thing it's paired to. So the reason I look at things in terms of what they're paired to is because it shows true buy and sell activity. You can see this chart is actually better than the other chart because this hasn't been subject this looking at the chart in this way isn't subject to Pulse pumping or dumping. It simply shows, are people buying or are people selling? That's all it shows. And you can see that over time, more people have continued to buy time at a higher price than previously. So this, again, I position is the best chart on Pulse Chain, humbly.
I agree completely. And you also touched on a point before when you're talking about privacy. I mean, anybody paying attention knows what's going on out there with the governments and big banks and all these centralized stable coins now that are able to come out. There's no better time or no more important time, not just for your pockets, but just for us as human beings, to have a product that is trustworthy, secure, and private. Mark my words, once stable coins from banks like JP Morgan Chase, BlackRock, Wells Fargo, all these other companies become common, every transaction that you do is going to be subject to scrutiny. Not with us. And your keys, your coins, but also your data, your privacy, your sanctity. It's so important to have this product now more than ever because of the wave of evasive intrusions to your privacy in the form of financial movement. It's going to happen. And it's coming. It's not a matter of if, it's already happening. So us being here with the battle testing that we've been through, we're going to be a natural landing place for a lot of people that are searching for privacy and anonymity.
Well said. People act often like we still live in a world of freedom. We don't. We have some illusions of freedom, like if you have enough ones and zeros, you can eat the greasy fast food that you want. Sure. If you have enough ones and zeros, you can subscribe to the TV shows you want. Sure, we have that level of freedom. But there are unseen actors, some seen, some unseen, that make decisions about your life and control you from behind a curtain. There's endless stories of people having their money turned off. The most government level fiat currencies are being destroyed by the world's worst tokenomics of infinite inflation. Cryptocurrency, and especially privacy focused and true decentralized systems, are what combat that. Don, you said it perfectly. If a government entity ever comes to internet money and says, hey, we need to know all your users' information, we need to know all their transactions, we need to know everything that your users are doing, guess what? We get to say, here you go, Mr. Government Entity. And they have an empty bag. We have nothing to give them. We can't have a data breach because there's no data to breach. Right. So we can stay compliant and also protect our users, which you may not care about that now, but have you ever logged into your bank and it said, hey, you can't access your bank account right now because call our customer support, and you have to convince someone on the other end of the phone to give you your money? What about, you ever had your money locked up in a centralized exchange? Coinbase, Kraken, they ever turn off your ability to interact with your money? That's a scary feeling.
Yeah.
Speaking of GigaBrains, what's up, Game Sis? Good to see you, Goose.
What's up, Game Sis? Good to see you. KG.
What's up, Conspiracy Crypto? Go ahead.
We could wrap this up whenever you want. Do you think it's a good idea maybe to go over where we're at, like a little update, and then tighten this up, keep it under like 45 minutes?
I like that idea a lot. I'll get on my pulpit, so I appreciate you keeping me grounded.
We should have a stream though, deep diving into that subject specifically.
Oh, what do you mean? Centralized control?
Yeah, privacy and the importance of keeping private.
Absolutely. So, updates. Let's talk updates. We recently pushed out an update, and it was a very heavily requested feature of biometrics login on Android and iOS, which means you can use Face ID or fingerprint. Honestly, I think it's enhanced the experience tremendously. And no, we don't collect your Face ID or your fingerprint data. That's between you and your operating system. We just get the okay that it truly is you. So still private, doesn't impact any of that whatsoever. We've made some other general UI updates, and speed enhancements to the app. If you've been an app user for a long time, you'll notice the app is getting faster and faster. If you're starting to use the wallet, just appreciate the fastness because you won't know any different. What we're working on right now that we've been working on for some time, and it's been a big request and we're very excited about it, is Bitcoin support. So on Android, iOS, and Chrome, Internet Money is about to have Bitcoin support. Historically, we've been an EVM only wallet, which means we support Ethereum and all EVM chains like Pulse Chain, Binance, and so on. But supporting Bitcoin is going to be our leap out of that. So we won't just be an EVM wallet anymore. And we've been in beta with Bitcoin. So if you're interested in testing Internet Money beta features, send us a message on X, drop a comment here, join our Telegram, let us know. And we should be out with that. And it's the dreaded statement. But I'm going to say 1 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, don't say it, man.
So we are aiming to be out with that in about 1 to 3 weeks. The core of the functionality is there. It's working. We're just refining, and that'll be big. Following that, we are going to be working on enhancing the hardware wallet experience. We've heard some users reporting bugs with Trezor, and that's because Trezor had a recent software update, and that made some of the Trezor devices with the new software incompatible. In some instances, it's just edge cases on top of edge cases. So if you're one of those users that happens to be experiencing a Trezor bug, don't worry, a fix is on the way. So we're going to be revamping and enhancing our hardware wallet experience. Then we're going to be moving into updating I don't want to get too nerdy and technical, but the smoothness of the app through updating the framework that it's built in. So we should see a lot of speed enhancements there. Things should feel a lot smoother, constantly getting smoother. And then Don, after that, I believe that you and I are really antsy and we really hear the community on 2 priority features. One being automatic token detection. We hear you guys. That's big for us. I promise you, we see it. We hear you. It's coming. Thank you for your patience. And maybe some UI changes, Don, right? Changing up the look of the app.
Yeah, I think that's important. I mean, a lot of the criticism we receive is that we look like we're from the 80s. So some of that's by design, and some of that's by accident. But yeah, I agree that the UI is big, and also bridge integration. Make one seamless experience. I hear Gibbs has got a really good product and smooth flow and does some really cool things that normal bridges don't do. So I'd like to be able to experience that.
So yes, well said on the UI. We want to go through an overall visual enhancement. And UI is so subjective. Some people love the way Internet Money looks. Some people hate it. But at the end of the day, I'm so bullish that is our biggest complaint. I don't like the way it looks. Out of anything that can be a complaint, I'll take that 10 days out of 10 because no one's complaining about security. No one's complaining about getting hacked. I think that's a major win.
Amen.
And then bridge integration. Yes. Major shout out to Gibbs. If you haven't, Gibbs.finance, I think is the best place to bridge on Pulse Chain. They also have a really cool feature where you can have your bridge delivered on the other side. So you don't have to sit there and claim your Pulse side or your Ethereum side. It can have it auto claim for you, or you could even have it like, let's say I want to bridge some USDC out of Pulse Chain onto Ethereum. You can do that and have it drop the USDC right in your centralized exchange. And the team behind Gibbs, great team. And there's not many projects I'm willing to back, but Gibbs.finance is one of them. And so we've been working with them to bring Pulse Chain bridging within the app, within Internet Money. So that way, right from your app, you can just easily bridge, track everything. So a lot of really exciting things coming for Pulse Chain, for Bitcoin, for other chains as well. And we're constantly building, constantly growing. If there's anything you guys want to see out there, let us know. It's how we know what's important.
Yeah, I'm glad you gave a shout out to Gibbs in that fashion. I think that the development team behind it is some of the best and trusted in the business. And, you know, there aren't too many people that we can say that about. And which is why we're just not just front ending anything at any time, because we don't know what's behind it. And we want to, you know, slowly but steady. You know, Apple was never the first to release anything. Apple was always let someone else go through the door and get shot. And we'll sit back here, we'll refine, we'll make it better, and we'll be the best in the market. And that's the approach that we're taking as well. We don't need to be first. We just need to be best, secure, safe.
Well said again, because so much coming out right now, unverified contracts, closed source code, anonymous team, and people are jumping on it and just fully supporting these things without any real due diligence or care for what you're interacting with. It's a lot of blind faith, and maybe it works out, and I hope it does, because I want successful builders and I want successful people that don't get hurt in crypto. But we're not willing to take that risk, even if that means our feature set lags behind a little bit. I'd rather have a laggy features, or I'd rather have a feature set that is slightly behind the FOMO curve than a bunch of people getting destroyed. I'll take that trade-off any day of the week.
Amen. And on the opposite side of that too, just because someone does have an audit or something like that, don't just blindly trust it as well. Because again, when you release iterations of the product,
correct,
things can change, which is why we are open source. And look, we know that not everybody out there can read code, but there are some telltale signs of weirdness within the code if you just look at it. And at any time you can look at our code and see what we're doing. But to KG's point earlier, the most important thing is our development team, doxed, background check, and we know exactly who they are and where to find them. And they're going to be held accountable to America's laws to the fullest extent if anything happens. So,
yeah, and go ahead, finish your thought.
No, that was it.
To double down on your point there, and we will wrap this up shortly. Another thing too that I see a lot out there is, oh, we forked this project that was audited. That doesn't mean your project's audited. If human beings touched the code, what was previously done before is invalid. So again, open source, verified contracts, audits, docs teams. No, that doesn't prevent a scam. Absolutely not. And so if someone's out there saying like, you should trust us just because, you shouldn't trust anybody. You should always be skeptical. But if something has unverified contracts, it's a closed source product, the team is anonymous, it should at least send your antennas up and make you really start asking questions. And even if they have the good things, maybe feel a little more comfortable potentially, but still ask the right questions and do your own research.
Yep. Well said.
And verify your contracts, open source your code. It's the way to go. Don, I have nothing else. I'll end with some parting words unless you have anything else.
No, once again, thank you for everybody. And also thank you to our admins in our Telegram chat. Big shout out. We see you out there. You're working hard. We thank you so much. We couldn't do this without you. Till next time. Peace.
All right, Don. Yep. Again, thank you, admins. Thank you to everybody who supports Internet Money in any way, shape, or form. This is a community product. and we will be successful together. And as long as each and every person continues to do their part, we have no choice but success. My name's KG. This is Don Montoya. We are the founders of Internet Money. Until next time, peace.
Got my own keys and my own coin. Gotta protect this money. Took too long for me to get it.